Okay guys, I'm here with my Coleman Mach 8. I believe it's the Mach 8 Plus. It's the 9500 BTU unit. It's the 8-inch version. It's the low pro version. It's going on my Ford Transit van. And I want to show you real quick what I did to install this soft start from Micro Air on this unit. The instructions aren't the clearest thing. It came with this paperwork, and there's a QR code here for recreational vehicle, and I got on it and got their instructions, and I saw on a YouTube video that you can go to softstartrv.com and you type in this 1976 number, and where it says that it comes from on this Mach 8 or Mach Plus is this panel right here bolts on like that. And when you look inside, 1976 764 and you go to that model number and it will tell you these are the instructions that it prints off for you. And these were okay, but here's the wires from the soft start, and I didn't have a blue or a red. I've got an orange and a brown, so that was a little bit confusing. So the ones that were on here actually told me the most information, and it asked you if you have a type 1 or style 1 or style 2, and I'm assuming this is a newer version, so it's a style 2. And the way you know that is because this capacitor right here on a style 2 is mounted right here on the side, and if it's a style 1, it will be mounted inside this box. So style 2, what they recommend is so you probably have this fan on yours is already bolted in right here. There's just 1, 2, 3 screws. You take the little nuts off and you cut some zip ties right here, and then you can just lay that out of the way. It's still connected, but it's just out of the way right now because you need it out of the way to mess with this. So I plan to use some 3M tape and somehow attach this right here, and then I've just routed this cable around. You could probably shorten this thing if you wanted to, but I'm gonna leave it like it is and just put some rubber, some kind of rubber tubing around it and zip tie it here and somewhere right in here. So just zip tie it out of the way so it's secure, but it's not going to rub the fins here or anything sharp down here, and just kind of protect it. So that's kind of the overview of that. And then get down to the hard part here. So I was able to run this wire through this grommet. It was not sealed off, so I just shoved it through, and you can see it there. So like I said, you've got mine came, this is a ASY 364X20. I got it from, when I got my batteries from, I think, Dragonfly. That's what they sent me when I told them what AC unit I've got. So, but like I said, you've got a brown, an orange, a white, and a black. And so the brown wire, I had to crimp a male connector on there, and it goes to the white wire that you can trace back that comes out of here on the compressor. So I don't recall exactly, I did this last night, and I pulled this loose from where it plugged in down here and plugged the brown wire from the soft start into the white wire that goes back to the capacitor in here. And then the white wire, it plugs in, it came with this yellow connector on here, female connector, and it goes on to this yellow tab down here. You can see there's already a black and a white and a yellow from the factory. I'm not 100% sure. I might have pulled a wire off. I might have pulled this yellow wire off there to put the white wire from the soft start on there. You see these two, this yellow and this red here. So one of the steps is you have to trace this back, these wires, all the way over here to this. This is your main capacitor, and I believe they call this a starter capacitor. So you have to disconnect these two wires. So I cut all the zip ties so I could follow them around. And you find them in here, and you just unplug them and tape them up so that they can't make contact with anything, and then you don't use those anymore. So I think that's why I put the white one right there. And then the orange. Okay, the orange was a little bit tricky. Excuse me. So you see that the orange is now, there's two red wires here, and then there was a third red, this red wire here that I taped up. It was also here, but it was connected. All three of the red wires, I believe, were, I think the red wire I taped up was on this one, the terminal that the orange wire is on, and then these two reds, and those are both red. That kind of looks orange, but those are both red. They were on this little thing called I think it's called a PCTR. So there's the female. It was plugged in like right there. And then these two had a double connector that went on right there. So you have to get rid of this PCTR thing. And in the process, it says the instructions say to take these two wires apart and then use the jumper that comes on these to connect the orange to one of these reds. Well, I couldn't get mine apart. In the process, I broke it, so I just twisted them together and put them in one bigger connector. And then over here in these directions that have the wrong color wires that I think are still fairly correct, it says somewhere down here, yeah, something about the double red wires, that you don't have to split them apart. You just put the new wire from the soft start on the post beside it. So that's why the orange is right there beside it. And then lastly, the black wire, I had to crimp it was just bare. So I put a FEMO connector on it, and this is a PUR terminal. And you can see I think there was three wires, two black and a purple already on there. And this one was open, so that's where it goes with the purple wire. And I believe that's it, guys. That's kind of short and sweet, and I just got to put it all back together now and follow the instructions where they say to plug it into 120 30 amp outlet, and you should see some green lights in here flashing if everything's correct. And then you got to cycle it a few times so that this thing learns how to work, and then let it run for a little while to make sure it is functioning properly. So my plan is to do that tomorrow. So if you're seeing this video, then what I just told you actually worked correctly, and I didn't screw something up. So anyway, hope this helped. All right, I want to give an update real quick. I got everything buttoned up on the air conditioner. I took it to my neighbor's house and plugged into his 120 30 amp outlet and cycled everything like the instructions say to do, and everything worked perfectly. I ran it for several minutes and it cooled off, and I was happy to see it worked great. So I brought it back home and plugged it into my Honda 2000i inverter generator, and it continued to run it great. I let it run for an hour and a half on the generator, and it cooled the van down and worked perfect. But one thing I noticed is right in here, it says something about after you turn it on, you'll see a green light. And it even tells you in this instructions that come with it that there's three little diodes here, a D21, D22, and D23. And if you have trouble with your soft start, these red lights will flash, and it gives you some trouble code stuff, the faults to check here. Well, it says everywhere that these lights are supposed to be green when a unit is running, and mine is not green. So I emailed, you can scan this QR code here and email Micro Air, their troubleshooting tech support people, and I sent them an email, and I just got a response, and it says that the X20 model, which I have, does not have a green light to indicate power. it only lights up red if there's something wrong, which really gave me a big sigh of relief there because everything works great. And so I feel like I'd done everything perfectly. I couldn't figure out why I did not have those green lights on. But apparently the X20 model does not have that. So hopefully that'll save some of you guys some headache in the future. See ya.